Hezbollah carried out another massive rocket barrage against Israel. John Jessup has that story from our news bureau in Washington. John.
Thanks, Andrew. The terrorist group launched more than 250 rockets along with drones in one of the largest barrages against Israel since the beginning of the war. Some rockets reached as far as Tel Aviv. As CBN's Chris Mitchell reports from Jerusalem, the attacks come as Israel and Hezbollah are considering a U.S. mediated ceasefire proposal.
The barrages sent Israelis in Tel Aviv rushing to bomb shelters and damaged buildings in Haifa and other cities in central Israel. Several Israelis were hurt in the strikes. In Lebanon, the Israeli Defense Forces also kept up their attacks, blasting Hezbollah command centers in Beirut to stop both the rocket barrages and destroy the terror group's ability to wage war. The attacks come as more reports emerge that Israel has agreed to a ceasefire, at least in principle, although there are still reportedly some concerns. The top diplomat of the European Union called for both Hezbollah and Israel to accept one.
We must pressure the Israeli government and maintain the pressure in Hezbollah to accept the U.S. proposal for a ceasefire.
The Middle East Media Research Institute reports a pro-Hezbollah daily Al Amin says a ceasefire would just be the end of the current round in its goal to destroy Israel, and that it would give time for them to rebuild. It wrote, "Honesty compels us to say very calmly that the end of this round of fighting with the enemy does not mean the end of the resistance."
Just yesterday, millions of Israelis ran to bomb shelters. Today, as we're speaking, I'm sure that people in the north are ready with the door to the bomb shelter being open.
Middle East analyst Hanania Naftali told CBN News some Israelis believe a premature ceasefire would keep them in danger.
And I know that that's what Israelis are feeling, that the only way they can return and live their lives safely is by Israel making sure that no missiles can ever be flown again into their homes, because no one would tolerate that, rockets and missiles being fired at their homes.
And in another major story here in the Middle East, the United Arab Emirates arrested 3 individuals Sunday. It says are suspected of murdering Zvi Kogan, a prominent rabbi in that Gulf nation. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu called it a criminal, anti-Semitic terrorist attack.
The state of Israel will act by all means and bring justice to the murderers and their senders.
Some suspect the murder was an Iranian-backed assassination. On X, Israeli Diaspora Affairs Minister Amichai Chikali said Iran is responsible and that, quote, "It is our duty to overthrow this regime, the root of evil in the Middle East." Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Jerusalem.